Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below, the direct service email line for you to me and my crew with specific purchase questions you may have about this or any watch you see on Watchbox Reviews. And today we're discussing the Lange Sohne 1815, 38.5 millimeters in yellow gold. This is a very traditional East German dress timepiece. Being only 9.1 millimeters thick, it easily slides underneath any dress cuff, and you can see from lug to lug, 45 millimeters means I can recommend this watch for wrists as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. The spacing between the lugs is a standard 20 millimeters, so you can put this dress watch on any of the many 20 millimeter strap options you'll encounter, OEM and aftermarket. Now, looking at the strap itself, you can see it's a medium brown with large rectangular scale gator skin, a folded edge, a monotone stitch, and calfskin on the underside. Note this is a brand new Lange Sohne factory strap. You'll be the first to crimp it or gouge it. The Lange pin buckle is surprisingly thoughtful. Not only nicely detailed with fastening externally and high polish, but you can see that there's a little revetment for the pin inside the buckle. There is an elevated bridge, so the prongs are lower than the bridge, allowing the strap to fit inside the buckle rather than stacking up underneath. And then there's a retaining bar, so if you're like me and you tend to strap your watch down to the smallest hole or even make a smaller hole, oftentimes a strap can get stuck and it's hard to extricate. Well, with this little retaining bar, the strap cannot get stuck even if you crank it down to one of the smallest holes for a small wrist. Brilliant stuff. The case band, nicely contrasted with a combination of satin and polish. You can see there's a step between the mid case and the bezel that adds extra definition, and the lugs in Lange fashion are stepped out to give it a little bit of a vintage aesthetic, with the lugs themselves nicely polished for contrast with the satin case flank. A Lange Sohne branded crown, manual wind watch, 55-hour power reserve. The dial, as you will find on the 1815 series, features Arabic numerals. When you see stick indices, that's the Saxonia. When you see Roman numerals, that's the Richard Lange calipers. I should say collection. This is the 1815. The 1815 collection is very simple and none simpler than the three-hand small second. As you can see, there's a lot going on here. You have a railroad track outboard for reading the minutes. You can see there's almost a little fleur-de-lis-like structure adjacent to each of the quarter Arabic numerals, and then there are conventional hashes outboard at each minute with little dot indices for the 5 minutes. There's a sunken register with a crosshair fashion with small calibrations and a small counterweighted fired steel seconds hand. You'll also appreciate that there is a hacking stop seconds function. At center, fired blue alpha style hands with polished center, and note that there's a sunken center disc that adds another focal plane and visual nuance to this dial, as well as a vaulted or curved Lange Sohne script up at 12 o'clock. I should also mention the dial is made of sterling silver, though it's galvanized this whiter tone. It is naturally 925 sterling silver, so the watch is precious metal outside and in. Turn it all over. You can see the caliber L0511, manual wind, 55-hour power reserve. There's that stop seconds or hacking function we discussed before. As you can see, it's nicely executed with German silver bridges. That's a nickel copper zinc alloy with the copper giving the golden hue, beaten away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It is regulated in 5 positions like a chronometer would be, and pivots on 23 jewels. Let's talk about some of the features of modern East German watch finish, most of which is simply the standard established by Lange itself since 1994. You can see that the jewels, the pivot jewels, are set in screw-fixed chaton with blued fired screws. This is the way it was done in the pocket watch era, when it was difficult to machine bridges precisely and then press jewels. The jewels would be pressed into precision gold chaton and then fixed to the bridges and plates using screws, and that's how it's done here. The bridge for the barrels as well as the train is a 3/4 style mono bridge, just as it would have been in the pocket watch era. You can see mirrored anglage, although I'm not picking it up terribly well. The edge of every bridge is beveled, chamfered, and mirrored with a perfectly rounded arc. There's black polish on the case clamp screws, the swan's neck regulator for the balance, as well as the cover to the escape wheel, and then there's engine-turned perlage on the base plate with a freehand engraved half bridge for the balance. So you can see with that freehand engraved half bridge, a signature of Lange, no two are exactly alike. So there's a lot going on here, all of it gorgeous and all of it of impeccable quality. One of the best kept secrets in pre-owned luxury watches, a Lange Sohne. Own this one on the Watchbox.